The following may include subject matters of war, violence, loss, and adult themes, which may not be appropriate for all audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Faraway friends, welcome to another lovely evening with us here at Darkeport.
Woo, yeah, let's play. Wake 'em up in. Yeah, look at this girl right here. This one right there.
This is going to be a special, weird, different evening. Donnie couldn't make tonight because of work obligations, and I am not going to NPC Titus on what is about to happen over there in Gold, Green, and Red. And
but I am. No.
But you are. That's
I'll
right.
just be
That's
Titus
right. There
for
you are.
the
You're just going to be Titus.
Titus.
So,
got this down.
I mean, you're even sitting in the chair over there, Randy. Oh, it'll be Titus by committee. That's what we'll do.
Perfect.
And we'll do a Titus vignette there. I think we've
our powers combined.
We've solved it. Right. So instead, we decided that we were going to do an Age of Tezcatli episode, and it has been some time. So this is taking place roughly 500 years before the main campaign. However, this is a somewhat different look, and not to bury the lead, because you can see which characters people will be playing, but Randy will still somehow be playing Marcus.
Wow, look at that.
And we're going to find out how that goes.
God. Divinity.
God.
And this episode is essentially the, how do I say this, the deep cut on what happened in episode 53 and what is going to happen in episode 54. So this is about Wace's sacrifice and her decision to empower one of the new receptacle of Talak's grace in the current era, and we're going to find out how that kicked off and started. Okay, hopefully that'll make more sense as the story unspools. And B. Todd, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Thank you for joining us as becoming a member. So cool.
Thanks, Todd.
And you wrote a really lovely message on the welcome channel on Discord. So we really appreciate that. We were kind of gushing, and I sent that to some other people. So thank you very much for that. I definitely appreciate that. And Grim, thank you for 5 gifties. We appreciate you. Caitlin was joking earlier that we should start putting that in the Curse of Strahd intros.
Yeah.
Even though they're pre-recorded.
But we'll just be like, oh, thanks, Grim, for the gift. Yeah. But we don't want to seem like we're expecting it.
No. No, just like that's how
regular you are.
Freaking solid you've been.
Thanks,
I
bud.
really appreciate that. All right, a quick shout out to our sister stream, Constructed Chaos, Alex Morgan, rest of the Chaos crew, doing their thing in so many different ways. Alex truly being a pioneer, and we discussed that a lot over here too, and things we can learn from you. So thank you very much for showing us that. And also, we even all the way back 500 years prior, we do have justice going on.
Justice.
There was still well, hopefully a little bit less, but there was still justice from our partner over at Briarwood Candles, who made this custom scent for us. We love Miss Kate Class, the CEO and founder over there. So go and check that out. You can buy those; should be showing up under the video, so you should be able to buy some candles for yourself. See what justice smells like.
It's really
good. I don't get to smell this one usually, and I was like, "Wow, that smells amazing."
I was gonna say, yeah, it's usually seductive, pretty different, huh?
Very different and equally delicious.
They sitting there before games like
Huffing.
And Caitlin, here at this table, we sing.
no.
You don't have to join us if you don't want to. You just gotta help us in your voice.
No, Randy's gonna sing because I'm lighting.
Because you're lighting? Okay. It's just gonna be boys.
Warm
All
up.
right. Ready?
The candle of tales. Come on, light it, Nares.
Well sung, gentlemen.
Oh my gosh.
Beautiful.
Marcus, you have just been witness and party to an extraordinary event. You felt Wesa. You felt Wesa's spirit. You felt her determination. Perhaps uniquely perceptive amongst the surviving fellowship, though. You felt her pain. How do you feel as it's revealed, and you realize that you'd been missing the depths of it?
Kind of like I missed an important part of my own child's life that had gone on unnoticed beneath my nose, and I'm supposed to be important. Like, I'm supposed to see these things, and I'm just missing this. That's off. I don't like it. Upset.
Not
Sad. Yeah.
You were not one of the people who, if I recall correctly, I should have gone back and watch this first, but you were not one of the people who were physically holding on to her when she actually passed.
No.
Rick was one, and
Titus on this side.
Titus was the other.
And then we just sort of linked up after that.
Was it Titus? Because he had left the room. There was somebody else, but it wasn't Marcus. Okay. Oh, Devrin. It was Devrin who was holding her on the other side. So, yeah, you're back a bit, and as you close your eyes, you feel a throbbing on your hand, and you wear the badge of station on which hand? On the right hand, I think.
The right.
Yeah.
And then the wrist for all
the wedding band. Yeah. Okay. So you feel a throbbing on your right hand, and when you glance to look, the area around you, the ship, the cabin, it starts to get blurry and out of focus. And you can hear them, but almost like they're underwater.
Blessed Dwyer, please give me light. I'm going to basically use my ring to give light out to the room.
And as you're looking around, you see a second scene begin to slowly take predominance. And then you're in some place that doesn't smell so different from your place of birth, from Pollux. Although instead of the river, you're getting something brinier, something marshier, darker, physically darker, as the canopy overhead is thicker. Although there were places around Pollux that would rival it.
Do I recognize any of the flora and the fauna?
Make a nature roll.
No, I don't.
Okay.
2.
You're still discombobulated from just being yanked out. Although, to be fair, you know that this has happened to Nalishli before, and you are a pretty grizzled adventurer now in terms of seeing weird stuff happen. So,
like, oh, here we go again.
and as you're looking around, in your feet now, every time you take a step to try to rebalance yourself, you're stepping in some sort of I'm picturing this as like a cross between, not pure marsh, like a cross between marsh and delta. So there are all these little rivulets running through. It does look like there's some kind of bog, maybe 50, 60 feet ahead of you.
Is it nighttime right now?
No, it's actually the same time of day. So it was getting on.
How thick is the canopy?
In the exact spot you're standing, you can see through to the sky. There are places deeper in, like around the bog itself, where it's practically in shade and shadow. Deep indeed.
Deep indeed,
Yeah.
right. Well, I'm going to stand there for a minute and just take stock.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair.
I'm going to basically, just without actually moving, just take a slow circular look at where I'm at.
Like a complete 360.
Right.
Okay.
See if I can spot anybody that might be there. Which direction the ground gets harder in, away from the bog, because I don't really trust bogs after our pell-mell dash from Pulux.
No, that's fair. Yeah. Go ahead and make 2 rolls. Make another nature check because you're slowing down and you're really assessing the area, and then make a perception.
I got a 5 on the nature check.
Okay. You're still disoriented.
Rubbing off on him.
And a 3 on the perception check.
Okay. You know, in Wraith, when the new Wraith has the call around them and everything is kind of muffled, so you have a feeling like you have a call over you and you need to rip that open and move into the larger world.
I use my light to push forward through.
Okay. And now you can breathe more easily. You're looking around. You blink your eyes because it's brighter. The bog is still dark, but now instead there's dappled sunlight coming through where you're at. And now you can hear nearby.
I'm going to follow it.
Okay. You see blue hair and generally lissom build with more muscle than would be natural to it.
Jason.
Looks up.
Jason, is that you? Is it Jason?
You're confused because it is, but it isn't. And he has those wide violet eyes. He's holding something in his hand. And he moves to a dagger at his side. Looks at you.
I ain't your enemy. I promise you that I ain't your enemy.
Obviously been crying.
Yeah.
How do you... I've never heard such... How are you speaking Valkyrie like that? I've never heard that accent before. Who are you?
I'm Marcus of a place called Pulux. Well, Juramentum.
I don't know either of those tribes.
Places, not tribes. Places.
There's no place. I know everything for leagues and leagues around. There's no place called Juramentum or Pulux, not within walking distance or sailing.
I have a hard time explaining to you what happened, but I think I know how it did. And I'm going to reach in and I'm going to pull out the cloth that Wesa gave me at the last game session that has a shard of Crystal of Remembrance.
She gave it to you.
She did.
She gave it to you.
To hold on to.
Okay.
I think this is how I found you and how I found myself here.
That's just cloth.
Oh, sorry. Open up.
So as he's looking, his hand drifts down. You see in the bog in the soft ground next to him, rather, there is a light wooden staff. And so he lightly puts his hand around that and then looks. And of course, in your hand is this bluer than blue, glistening, shimmering even, piece that's in there, tiny.
I think this may have belonged to you at one point, but I don't believe it belongs to you now.
Did you?
No.
And he reaches under, so he's wearing this nice, it's not ostentatious, but it's a very skillfully made kind of necklace. Go ahead and make a history check.
I got a 6 on that roll.
Okay, we're struggle busting.
Yeah, dude.
All right, well, it's good we're not in combat right now.
All right.
So you can't really place the necklace. You feel like you've seen something similar to it before. It's a bit more elaborate. That's really all you can tell. But he reaches under and he kind of touches it, although you don't see anything exactly like your gem. No, it's still... Okay, make one more roll, Randy. This will be an insight roll.
Okay. May I, with my truth seeker, increase my insight at this moment? Please, Dwayne, give me insight into what is going on here.
I'm going to say you're a little discombobulated, so no.
That is much better. That is a 24.
Oh.
24.
So he's reaching under like somebody who's making certain that a precious item isn't gone, even though it doesn't look like he's really touching much of anything other than the necklace to him.
Which means you still have it, huh? Which means that this...
How do you know that? Are you some sort of shapeshifter playing games?
No, I'm not. I believe that I'm a man out of time right now. And I believe that these crystals drew each other to us.
She told me that the gods have their own time.
She's correct. They do.
She's a bitch.
But she's still correct. And I'm going to wrap up and put that away.
But if you have that and I don't... And now you can see what he has in his hands. There's a gleaming white marble and gold rock ? And then you see it's too well formed. I don't know if you can see this as the player, Randy, but okay.
Oh.
And
wow.
The bright lady led me to this, but she's a liar too. It's just a stupid dollhouse.
It ain't.
She said it was supposed to help me, but it's just crap. And he throws it over there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can catch it. And it's a cathedral, which of course means nothing to him because that doesn't exist in their culture. Never will. You're wasting your time. I've looked at every inch of that thing. There's nothing inside it. It doesn't do anything. It's not magic. It has nothing. It's worthless. And it's not gonna move her stone heart one damn bit. And he's pointing the staff now over to this hut that's at the edge of the bog. That's so well woven in with everything else that without him like literally just pointing, it reminds you kind of like a Kithke house, with the Dushines, how they tend to build out of only the material and they camouflage things.
So she said, as I point to the hut, that this right here would help you.
No, the bright lady told me that.
That's not her.
Something that I thought was a goddess I didn't know, but now I think was just some sort of devil or trickster spirit.
Bright golden light.
White, but there were these beautiful dapples of gold in it.
I have been in this cathedral. I have been there.
In the... What did you call it?
A cathedral.
And as you're listening to yourself, when you hear it, your voice sounds different, almost like a weird overdub or something. And when you say cathedral is the only time that you're like hearing your actual Marcus voice.
Weird. Yeah,
Why do you have that ring?
because it was given to me by my goddess.
Why do you have that ring?
Because it was given to me by my goddess.
No, it wasn't.
It was given to me by her emissary when I took on the mantle of my goddess's emissary. This is the ring of the goddess Tuea, the goddess of justice and truth, and a whole host of other things. How might I prove it to you?
You're too big. Anyway, it wouldn't... Sorry, I've been out here too long. That can't be the ring I was thinking of anyway.
It might be. It changes types. It changes shapes.
Oh, come on.
It's magic. You haven't seen stuff magically?
I've seen plenty of magic. I don't see resizing self-resizing rings.
It's divine. It's made for whoever's the emissary at the time. As it happens, I am. And I'm bigger than all the others.
You're a man.
I am, which was shocking to the old emissary. But here I am.
You took care of my brothers and sisters? You were I guess it would be master of Tentrol Den?
I came on them after this was given to me. Right now, I believe that the person who is potentially ruling them, or at least leading them, would be a fellow named Rex. But he ain't settled into that role just yet. It's still in the works. But yes, I do know of the place.
It should only be women.
It should only be women. But this time it ain't.
Okay. If what you're saying is true, what does the ring say on the inside?
So, I ain't know how to read. And the one person that I did ask for it, the Bellator Sanctus,
I don't know that word.
it's a holy warrior.
Warriors aren't holy.
This one was.
They're selfish and brutal.
Some of them are, many, but not all of them. This one ain't. He fights for a cause and he fights for justice. It's a hard thing to swallow, I know.
He wipes his hand on his trousers.
I do know the words are there, though. I have seen them. And with luck, I'll be able to read them myself here soon.
You can read, though. It will grant you that. I'm sure it's how you're speaking Valkyrie right now.
Oh, this is Valkyrie. Okay.
Any language of any child that has ever been raised in Tentrol Den is contained within that ring. If it's that ring.
Well, as I'm going to slip it off, please give this ring light. And then I'm going to hold it up. Please allow me to read this statement.
And all of a sudden, even though it's in a series of curious runes, you can clearly, you have to spin it and turn it. It says, we must, we can, we will do better.
That is incredible. We must, we can, and we will do better. As I slip it back on.
Okay. Okay. You said you were time. Then you're going to help me.
I believe that is what that said, yes. What do you need? What can I do for you?
Why would you help me? You don't even know me.
I was called here for a reason. I trust my goddess. My goddess would not put me into a place that she did not wish me to be. And she put me in front of you, who already knows what this ring was. You showed me how to use it and read. There's a reason I'm here.
almost the woman who lives in that hut. The last year has been brave heart, Atiani. The woman in that hut is the only person I know of left who can help even start making right what has gone completely wrong. Her name is Nikali, and she is a powerful sorceress. And do you know what a divine construct is?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Do you know my beloved Akatsun?
I don't. Do I? Did Nalisha ever talk about that in the time that she never did on screen, but did we ever talk about that after the fact?
You feel like you've heard the name before, but you're not pulling the context of it immediately.
It's familiar, but it ain't something I can readily draw on. I knew the Dread Mother's construct. Nalishli. Yeah. She's was part of my fellowship. She has adventured on her own for a while now.
Okay, all right. This is starting to make sense. I know that my mind has to be broader than it's ever been. And I know that gods have their own time. Nalishli appears sometimes in the new capital, Teowani. From time to time, she's been there over the long summers. Sorry, over the long winters. Wrong culture.
How long has she been there for? Like days, weeks, months?
Well, she comes and goes. I'm sorry. I'll try to have this make sense. When she appears, it seems like she has lived differently than the time that she's been away from us. I don't know if I can really make more sense than that. So maybe you're like her.
Maybe. Things going on in my own time that I'm going to go through. Then maybe come back here.
So, Akatsun is... Do you know Coatl, the Lord of the Dawn Star?
I do, yes.
He's the counterpart to the Dread Mother.
I do, yes.
And by rights, this should be his age, but it's not anymore. Not really. I've accepted that it's done. It's the age of Tezcatli now. But it wasn't supposed to be. Even if Coatl finished, by all rights, by our laws, and by, as I understand them, the laws of our gods, it should now be the age of Tuluk. And I've been trying to make that right. Akatsun was felled through treachery. I know that now. He was trying to defend our city, Coatl, from the Green Doom. And because of that treachery, he failed. I know where he's at. I don't understand everyone's motivation or how he wound up there, or why Nalishli would make nice with that horrible woman Okatla.
Uh-huh.
And you know Okatla?
Recently met her through one of her ancestors, I think.
Oh, thank gods. I thought you were about to tell me she'd somehow become immortal.
Oh, no. She said that she was dead. But
Good.
She was telling us about stuff that she did here, that she accomplished every one of her goals, whatever those might have been. She didn't elaborate. But can I ask you a serious question?
She's a liar anyway, so don't trust anything she says.
I don't, so it's all right. We're on the same page.
But Nalishli is the person who hid. She called Akatsun brother, and she hid him from Okatla and from the rest of them when they were trying to find his body. I know where he's at, but I can't get there. And there's another thing wrong too, but one crisis at a time, right? I need Nikali to get to him.
Let's go say hi then.
But she's already... I came here almost a year ago, and she told me no when she was nasty about it and vehement. And now... And she knows I'm out here, and I'm not afraid of dying. I'm just afraid of dying stupidly.
I understand that feeling.
I know that she can kill me. She's more than potent enough to snuff me out. I'm not chosen.
You ain't, but you're important. You are important.
And the truth is what the coterie did, what my beloved's group did to her before, it was wrong. She needed our help, and she'd been our ally before, and they told her they were too busy and there were more important things. I didn't like it at the time, but I'm not chosen. I'm not Asketeotl. And she's held that grudge. I guess some of her kin got killed because we didn't do anything. And by the time we did get around to it, it was all over. So I understand that she's angry, and probably the last person in the world she wants to help is the leader of the coterie that told her no in her time of need. But I have to get through to her. I have to make things right here, and I know now with what the bright lady showed me, if I'm not successful here, if whatever wants to travel on from me that Akatsun put inside of me can't move and is stuck here and now, the future's going to be dark as well.
I feel you.
A future I'll never see, but I still care about it.
I understand that feeling as well. Want me to help you? Let's go talk to this woman and see if we can break a bit into the stone heart of hers. And can I ask you a real serious question?
Yeah.
I have always been told that each of the Divine's ages, it was only one after the other, right? The others would be dead, and then the next one would come into its place, and then the next one, right?
It's a natural order, yes.
So, if...
Metallic is the balance point.
But he's still alive, and...
Well, Tulloch is the god. You mean...
I'm sorry.
You mean Akatsun?
Akatsun is still alive.
He's been deactivated.
And Nilishli is still alive, last I heard. And right now, in my time, we're putting Tulok back together, and his avatar is being birthed. All three at the same time, and I'm not sure what that means, but it's hurt my interest.
His avatar is...
Yes.
Have you seen it? Seen them?
No, but I know who gave her life, as she said, to act as kindling for that spark within the new avatar. It's not supposed to be possible because everything in the natural order, but with Akatsun being deactivated and not actually dead, and then Nilishli being, or the age being brought in without its time being there, breaking the cycle of things, and now Tulok is actually being, his avatar is being created as well through a devout worshipper of his.
1 point won't be enough. That's what No, we really have to get there.
Then let's go say hi.
What was your question? He starts walking.
If it's even possible, and how it could be possible, and what the so many questions. So many questions.
I'm sorry, I don't even know your name.
Marcus.
Marcus.
Marcus, yeah. Just like that.
Not
Marcus.
Mark Colley?
No, not Marcali. Marcus.
Not Mark Cottle?
No. Marcus.
There's no X's or Z's involved. This isn't adding up.
I'm from a different place. We have different names.
My name's Atiani.
Atiani. Nice to meet you, Atiani.
Very good to meet you. You start walking around the outside of the bog.
I hate bogs. Mushrooms.
Some little gas. Some little gases come bubbling up. Macaulay, you're minding your own business. You are waiting for a Coat ambassador to arrive. Supposedly she's going to be here sometime in the next few days. And after a long, bitter campaign and a lot of bodies on both sides, but with your kind of people so fewer in number, with your kin so fewer in number, you know that it's unsustainable. But the Coat are also wary of you.
As they should be.
And they don't know, on the seed you've planted, and even you don't know, if the ultimate head of your line, Equetl, the mighty Green Doom, is at some point going to get tired of this, of green killing green, and lay down the law. Now, obviously in this area you don't have the law of green does not kill green, but you're about to get it pretty soon. And so in a mainstream campaign, these would be the Yonti, having a grand old time. So one of their ones who are more humanoid are going to be arriving at some point at the dark of the moon, but you don't know exactly when. So you think she'd be rather early as someone crosses a mystic threshold that you've put in place. There's no one who's going to get anywhere within range of your abode without being detected, and they've tried everything. And let's say within reason, so in this era the magic is a lot more raw, and you haven't, this is, obviously hundreds and hundreds of years pre-Figulus Neus. So within reason, if there are various items that you want to have empowered around your abode, then go for it. You've been gaming with me long enough offline to kind of know what would fit in a cruder campaign than the current Terra.
Sure.
So you feel two people come through. One of them, surprisingly, make a Arcana check. Let me see how much information you get off of that.
What's a 14 on the die? What's my mod for Arcana?
You'd have proficiency in it too, so
Okay.
that'd probably be like a +6 or something.
Okay. Around
Total.
20.
Around a 20. Okay.
It's a good number.
I like that number.
Actually, you know what? That's high enough. One of them is familiar, although you're surprised he's back, and one of them is chosen.
That piques her interest a bit. She has her little covered window that she goes to just to sneak a little peek one eye out the curtain.
Hello.
You don't see
very quickly.
Yeah, you don't see well, actually make a perception check and see if you.
Okay, it's fine.
You're probably not going to. Yeah.
He does
Focus on
not
the door.
perceive.
I'm gonna say even that you've woven. This isn't your specialty, but you've had enough time to weave in a glamour, so you have like a static illusion, and it just changes slowly throughout the day, and it's maybe a quarter of an inch outside of the curtain, so you can just move the curtain as you like and peep out.
Nice little peek hole.
And then you hear this. Now you can physically hear the steps coming closer. How big do you want the abode to? I called it a hut, but he could have been just being nasty. So it can be pretty big if you want it, or
I think
compact,
it
or underground.
seems really small from the outside.
It's TARDIS.
But if you were inside, suddenly it seems to like unfold into a much
larger affair
size. So it would seem like, a small little, maybe 500 square foot little thing from the outside. But you come in and all of a sudden it seems to just expand, and there is a little bit up and there is a little bit below the earth as well.
I'm going to say that part of that, because the foliage is so dense, that you've actually affixed, like outwardly it looks like trees and vines and shrubbery and whatnot, but you've actually meant, like internally you've reshaped them over these long years. And so they go, and then there is, some illusion going on too.
Before they even get close to the door, Atiani hears in his mind, just turn around.
She's telling me to just turn around.
Well, you ain't gonna, are you?
We can't.
Then let's go. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? I'm with you.
I'm afraid.
Everybody's afraid at some point. And it's important that you can be afraid of something, but you just can't be afraid to look at it and continue forwarding.
I know you don't know her, but can you go ahead?
Yeah, sure. Knock, knock, knock.
Okay. So you hear this rather heavy kind of, not carefree, but what would you say? Kind of salt of the earth tread coming up. You know, just
solid, claims the
fact,
steps. It's not hesitant with the steps themselves.
And then what do you have a sense of the door? What the door would be like?
Yeah, I think it's
like very difficult to see, probably behind vines or something.
Yeah.
Something, but yeah.
Thick and almost the color of the foliage around it, and it is pretty echoey when he is banging on it.
Okay. Doop, 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 doop. So you hear this coming in. Some of the various creatures that you have gathered around you. They look irritated.
Yes. And then you, Marcus, will hear in your head as well. I don't know who you are, but you can turn around as well.
Right. And I would be most happy to if you will simply hear us out and we will be on our way. Please.
And then you hear her actual voice through the door. Atiani, you know better than to be bringing a stranger to my doorstep.
I know, and I'm sorry, but it's important. He has the ring, and he has understanding. Please hear us out.
And the door slowly
As it opens.
eeks open.
Dear do I allow my eyes to see truthfully.
All right, you see there's a quiet little of gold light around it. You don't detect any danger from it, but you know something divine just passed.
You'll notice that her eyes are immediately looking to the ring, and she doesn't seem to be paying much attention to you or what you look like or looking at Atiani.
It's a symbol of my goddess.
I know.
His accent sounds very strange to your ears, even though he's speaking technically perfect Valpyri.
And where did you find this?
I ain't find it nowhere. It was given to me when the last emissary died and I was chosen in her place.
Pardon, I meant Atiani. Where did you find this?
I was crying because the bright lady, and he's told you about her before, so you would know this. You're not sure if it's a goddess or a spirit or what, but the bright lady told me that this was a symbol of what did you call it, Marcus?
A cathedral.
Cathedral is a sign of things to come.
At least in my land.
She made it, and you can see I couldn't have done that myself. I really couldn't have.
What, that strange rock you've been holding on to?
Yes.
What was the word?
Cathedral. It means a holy place, like a church or a temple.
Well, it
Just
looks
grander.
I know it looks ridiculous, but I know it's not a pyramid, but maybe he's telling the truth. That ring would burn him if he wasn't supposed to have it. And
That's true too. It wouldn't even let me put it on, I don't think.
I've always told you the truth.
A lot of good it's done either of us.
Truth is always good.
I'm still not sure why you are here.
I am not either. I was brought here, I believe, to help this individual right here. Atiani, I believe his name was. And
He is, hopefully.
and he knew of me ring, he knew it belonged to, he knew how I can read it. So I'm willing to trust him.
Your voice is strange.
Man out of time, I believe.
I think he's like Nalishli when she appears in Teowani.
You don't have the power Nilishli has.
Nah, but she was one of me fellowship mates. She was part of us. She went off on her own for a while ago, but she was with us for a number of years.
You were wise to bring at least something intriguing. Otherwise, you would already be gone from my doorstep. She'll step back to give them room to enter.
I give a thumbs up.
Okay, he's like a little startled that it's actually happening after trying to get in for almost a year, and then he steps. Marcus, you're in front, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you step.
Oh wow! How much bigger in here is it? Is it cavernous almost?
Oh no, sorry. That was the field of force that you just did. And you're so used to it being up constantly that you don't even think about it.
Poke, 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 poke. Touch the ring to it.
You see this man. Clink, dink, 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 dink.
It clanks.
Your ears pop.
Oh. That's what it's like. I've never been in that hut before, but that must be what it's like.
Go, go, go.
Yeah, I'm going.
All right, you step over the threshold, and Marcus, there's strange smells, strange sights. You see what a small, cute, domesticated Bazaret would look like.
Oh, wow.
And
look at that. I ain't even trying to kill me. Oh, come here, you.
Oh. She jumps in like, don't touch her.
make a animal handling roll, Randy.
You're gonna get bit.
Ooh, this is gonna be different now. 14, 15.
15?
Yep, 15.
How ornery is the Bazaret? Not ornery enough. Okay. It doesn't come up to you, but it at least doesn't try to lash out at you.
That approach is not recommended.
Oh, it is going to try and kill me. Well, some things never change. So cute, though.
You would do well not to touch anything or anyone.
Is this a place I can sit?
There's like a bench, maybe that
Motion over
that you've
to
carved over.
whatever
Yeah. Is there room enough for
uncomfortable
two?
seat.
Room enough for two? For both me and him?
Barely room enough for one. This place is not meant for Marcus's.
I'll stand you. You can have the spot.
That doesn't seem right, but
It's a bit small for me, and I'm on all this plate.
okay. Well, I am small, definitely smaller than you. So he plops himself down.
What was your name again, ma'am?
I am Nikali.
Nikali.
And your name?
Marcus of Juramentum. A pleasure to meet you.
Marcus of German.
Juramentum. Close enough. It's fine.
It sounded like Marcus of Germ first, but I
Juramentum.
know that's not right.
Yeah, it's fine. I have a different way of speaking than you, so this is probably just one of those moments.
You know why I came last time, and now he's telling me it's even more urgent, that in his proper time and place, that Talak, if you believe this, sorceress, that Talak is asserting himself or is coming into their place and time. You were the person who taught me that gods had their own time and that they can move through it differently than men. And that's part of why they're gods and we're not. Do you think it's possible that this is true?
Of course it's possible.
Then, if it is possible, won't you please reconsider helping me get to Akatsun? The mask of Coatl is gone. There's no reviving him. So, I guess you were right, or at least that was the will. I told you that the gods would prove you wrong, and I was wrong. The mask has just vanished. Even Okatla can't find it. But if whatever he put inside of me is ever going to move on. And maybe it isn't going to be a reclamation of the age of Coatl like I was praying for. But maybe it's going to be an age of Talak, as we both know is supposed to happen next, not Tezcatli. Won't you reconsider going and helping me?
What a heartfelt speech. Marcus,
Nicole,
I'm sure you don't understand, but none of this is any of my affair. Have no interest in your plight, and whatever the gods wish to do in his time moves me not.
Could potentially real interesting things that nobody else has actually seen before interest you. Because this might be a situation where no one will ever have this information. Just you.
I have plenty of my own unique information to keep me company for years, winters and winters.
I mean, what's a little bit more of a rainy day? I mean, right?
It was a pleasure to have made your acquaintance.
What can we do to actually interest you? What would be your price to come with us?
The truth is, my interests are gone. My friends, my family, many of my people are gone.
What race are you? Are you human?
Oh yeah, you should. Yeah, let's.
Let's. I'm a draconic sorceress.
Oh.
Always helpful to have that information.
Sorry, I was getting so into this. Yeah, Is it like roughly the same ratio of grip? Is it more subtle? Is it even heavier?
I would say it might be slightly heavier
because
at
of the
this
time.
Mhm.
Okay.
As it's probably over the
generations,
centuries, eased its way out to be more and more subtle. So a little more draconic looking than grip.
You know, in my time, where I'm from, there is one more of your kind. He's part of our fellowship. His name is Grip.
What great comfort that one
You
remains.
are not alone, is what I'm saying. You ain't. There's others out there.
A cold comfort.
Maybe a comfort nonetheless, though.
This one, this sweet boy who has dazzled you with his striking hair and his interesting manner of speaking and his chamedral have won you over quickly, I see.
He's important in my time, too.
Well, he should have been important in mine.
He's important.
Him and his friends, his coterie.
People do a lot of bad things in their lives, and a lot of things that just don't seem right.
Well, perhaps it is my turn to do something that does not seem right to either of you. But I have no interest in involving myself further in these affairs. As I have said, time and time again, and her voice is filling the walls and becoming unnaturally loud and echoing.
But now we know that there's a way out. It doesn't have to be an age of darkness and despair.
For you,
For
my
all of us.
age of darkness was ushered in when you failed to come to my aid. I practically helped raise you, helped you come into the power you have now, looked on you almost as a son. And you could not help me in my time of need? And here you are to grovel and say you're sorry, that you were wrong.
I am sorry.
Yeah.
And he drops down on the ground.
Sorry has never raised a dragon.
Could we raise a dragon? How old are you, Astiani?
This is my 24th winter now, but I suppose I'll live a long time. If I'm not done in by violence.
I know that he has been part of a group that just would not help you in your time of need. I understand that. I hope that you did everything in your power to convince them of what was right in this situation. The person I know would have.
It did, but it didn't matter.
We are all swept up in a tide of the things around us. And while it might be easier just to look at the dark, sometimes there is a bit of light. And all it takes is a bit of moments to see, just to look.
I'll give you the shard. Unique in creation. Even you can't get into crystal remembrance. The Lloyd did let me in, Nikali. You thought I was lying last time. And he reaches under the necklace. And it was glued underneath. And it glistens.
That is dangerous.
I'll give it to you. But I'm going to warn you, and I know you're mighty. This will twist your mind if you're not careful. And it was attuned to me. Will you help me? Will you help me help them? And all those unborn souls to come. It may be many years of suffering, but it's not going to be forever, and the wheel isn't going to be broken. Here is your treasure. And here is my... I'm sorry.
She wants to do almost like an insight on the shard. Like, use what she can in her wisdom to experience it and see what her own reaction is. Basically gauging how much she thinks she can control what it can do or how much it's going to end up controlling her.
How careful are you?
She's very careful right now.
Okay, so you start with the subtlest of bending around it, just a whisper of power, and not even really, and not directly on it either, because you know that there are some dread items where even if you're only using mana, you're touching them, they're touching you. Mm-hmm. So you're careful, and although he's genuinely an honest lad, you would not put it past Atiani in his desperation of having laid a trap for you either. So you swirl that around, you watch it dance, and how does Nikali conceptualize, like how does she experience mana bending? Imagine it's quite different from Farron.
Oh yeah. For her, it's much more like of the earth. It's dirtier. In some ways, almost gaseous because she has this kind of connection to poison. So
a strong connection.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So instead of threads, it's more like a light miasma that you're putting around it, and all you're seeing is just her hand kind of slowly moving around, and there is a slight twinkle, just there and gone, out of the shard. Make an Arcana roll.
It's a 17, so for adding 6.
That's pretty damn good. It's like 23. Yeah, it's well north of 20 anyway. This seems to be quite a magnifier, but you could easily blow up on you if you weren't careful. However, if you were able to focus this into something, this would be on the level. This might even surpass ? One of the sacred items of the Uralit. The other thing that you're almost certain of, you haven't had a chance yet, but you kind of know, like, this will be nigh unbreakable. which allows you to do certain things that you normally can't with much more delicate, quote unquote, real gems.
The piece I have is much smaller than that whole piece, yes?
It's a little smaller.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's more delicate, as befits the Jason of your time, as just a more delicate person.
She sits down on the ground. It's just a dirt floor. And she looks up to both you and says, "Sit." And
Sure.
It's not long for him, right? Because he was already kneeling, so he just plops down.
I'm always on the floor, so I don't mind.
she grabs a nearby wooden implement and just begins to draw into the dirt. And she begins to retell Atiani and tell Marcus the story of how the Coat have come, how they have tried to remove her people, take their lands, all of the disgusting atrocities that have occurred in front of her eyes. And she's drawing them, but she is imbuing this dirt in a way where the story is almost coming to life in front of your eyes, and you're experiencing it much more cinematically than you.
I mean, it probably almost literally is. Yeah.
As is my want as of late.
And dust is coming up around you, and almost faces are appearing in it of the people that she's talking about, the family members. And her voice is like deep in your ears, filled with the grief as she tells you of the friends who have fallen, the family members who have fallen. And very suddenly, she just whooshes all the dust away. Everything clears.
As is my want lately with my ring and important moments that I feel are important. I'm definitely going to be trying to record this story as it's told to us for future
You try to burn it into the memory of the ring. Okay. Great.
I'm so sorry that you have had to deal with this, to experience any of this. It's enough to harden all the hearts of life. I'm so sorry. Family is one of my highest ideals.
I was kind once, caring once, open once. My heart has closed. I feel betrayed by you. And you put this piece of power in front of me, and you say you're sorry.
Yes, sorry. I can tell it. I can see him.
Keep it, Macaulay. If you tell me no, it's impossible, and it doesn't matter anyway. I don't want the burden of it anymore. Just keep it. And do what you can. For whatever it's worth. The Coat are stupid and fools. And they think that you're wrong. They think that you're an abomination. You're not. The Green Doom made you. The Green Doom made them. There's a reason both peoples exist. And now I know that there are others of you out there.
Their emissary will be arriving soon. An ambassador.
A Coat? You've injured them that badly.
So, how would you counsel me to deal with them?
I wouldn't. I'm not an emissary, but Marcus is.
What do they want from you?
Well, there's what they say they want and what they really want. And what they really want is everything. For us to go away. For them to have all that we have. And for us to be memory.
Yeah, but in my time, I have seen people of your race, which means they fail. They fail doing that.
Randy, make a history check. So let's see if a fact comes into your head.
I got a 17 on the die. 19.
Thank God.
Yeah.
We need this fact.
Yeah, we do. We do. Hey, you're playing the character exactly as you should, baby. It comes to you. I mean, there was such a rush of information, Randy, but it comes to you that not only did Grip survive, but that there's an entire island full of dragonkin. And yes, there were Koat who were trying to kill them there too. But they survived, and there were enough to be a people, not just a dying race.
So, Grip talked about how there was an entire island of your people.
No, it's Antigone. It was the captain of Antigone when she was
gotcha.
giving you that whole story.
I'm so sorry about
Yeah. No, go ahead.
There's an entire island of your people. Well, Captain Antigone who told us they exist. The cohort has been there, attempting to kill them this entire time. But they still exist, and they thrive. They thrive.
How sad that the conflict continues, but...
Heartening that it still continues. That they still exist.
True.
Come with us. See what happens here. Learn about me. Maybe I can send a message to one of your future kin. Wherever they might be.
Nikali, the ruins of Koyotl have been abandoned. If we hurry, we could get there. We could get there in a day. In what remains of the day, and you could be back about this time tomorrow. Is there time?
You will remain when we return, and you will be at my side when I deal with this ambassador. As a show of your loyalty to my people and your willingness to correct your wrongs, you will take a side.
Nothing but death will keep me from it.
Truly? A life favor?
Pardon me, my lady. A life favor from me to you.
She just reaches out, takes the little piece. And she reaches kind of into her clothes and underneath where she has a pouch of things that she keeps very closely.
I'm going to say that you scoop it up, that as you start to feel it, you start to feel the danger, like the ripples and danger. So you scoop it up with maybe the
tongs or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I saw that look in your face.
Tongs.
Yeah, we don't need to have an incident right now.
Ancient tongs.
Yeah.
She'll slide it into that carefully. So it's nice and wrapped up.
It comes back.
I'm going to do my best.
Let's do it.
Okay. And that is where we will pause the tale for intermission real quick.
Dun, dun, dun.
And before we go,
Yes.
Grim has been a member for 14 months now.
Wow. Thank you,
My
Grim.
consistency shows my love for you and what you all do.
Aw, thanks,
Aw,
love you
thank
so
you,
much,
Grim.
Grim. Thank you so much,
seriously.
You're the best.
That means a lot to us. All right, faraway friends, we will come back and we will conclude this little vignette on the flip side of this. So come and watch. All right, take care. We'll see you in a cup.
See you in a bit.
Eldritch Foundry is evolving. Bringing you a virtual army of miniatures like never before in full tabletop-ready color. Paint your miniatures in our upgraded creation tool, then bring them to life in stunning one-to-one detail as 3D printed miniature masterpieces. With complete control over your digital color scheme, you can point and click for simple color fills or go all in on highlights, shading, brush techniques, and more. Create epic heroes and madness-touched monsters that are truly yours. Miniatures are 3D printed in perfect color detail using a new PolyJet 3D printing process, giving you unique, bespoke models ready to delve into any dungeon as part of your next campaign. Everything from one-off player characters to dungeon mobs and boss-level monsters that will make every player in your group jealous. But that's not all. You can take things fully digital and export into leading VTT platforms such as Tailspire and Roll20 to take your games and your custom miniatures wherever you want. Join the adventure of a lifetime. Back our campaign today to help us bring this stunning revolution in custom miniature design to reality. With Eldritch Foundry, full-color 3D design and printing.
Welcome to Constructed Chaos, a D&D live play channel where you get to control the game. Join us on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Time for our in-person live stream that allows you to influence our adventures in major ways, from alternate plot points to rerolls to absolute chaos. And tune in on Mondays at 7 for our brand new Chat Plays D&D format where you get to roll the dice and pilot the characters themselves straight from the live stream chat. And between it all, there's tons of homebrew content and guides that we release every single month. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. And until next time, go out there and make some chaos.
We lift our voice to greet the rising sun. Your splendorous touch burns away the dark. With a soft golden hue, your world is made anew. We follow the path you've laid.
Welcome back, faraway friends. We're gonna pick that tale. Thank you so. I have it on good authority that we have quite a few faraway friends watching right now. So thank you so much. That's amazing.
Hi, welcome new people. Thanks for being here. We're real excited you're here.
Yes, we are.
Thank you.
Faraway friends.
Faraway friends. All right, let's get that candle going.
Are you ready? Warm up your vocal cords. Hem, hem, hem.
The Candle of Tales. Keep on now. With
Light it down. Guys.
We got it. We're gonna
I got it. This is why I only light it once at my table, because I only get one good light a day. You ask me for two, it's not gonna happen.
You need a short rest now.
I need a long rest.
I just really wanted you guys to show off your vocal abilities.
I don't know about
Now
that.
the world knows.
Now the world knows.
You are
been beating down
vocalists.
my door.
You do actually have a gorgeous voice, ready?
Now.
All right. Enough of that.
Enough that.
Yeah, serious.
Quick. You have situated yourself surprisingly close by some people's measure to the old Uralit capital. However, you have more than two things, but you have two things going for you in this regard. One of them is they really don't wander very far into the marshes for a plethora of reasons. And the other is if you don't want somebody to find you, then you can make that little hut virtually impossible to find. Just in case the ambassador was going to show up soon, the emissary is going to show up soon. You had it, ironically enough, for a different. It did work for a different emissary, but
Girl.
yeah, you don't have it quite as hidden as normal.
Hi, girl.
Hello.
So, a year on after the Green Doom's rampage, you see the proud towers and pyramids of Kyoto literally and metaphorically laid low. Where once this was the jewel of the continent, now instead you have ruined and the ashes of, to hear them tell it, the greatest civilization to ever be around the lake.
Are there people moving around inside of it?
Oh, they're long gone now.
So it's an abandoned place.
Yeah.
A lovely place here.
And
How much has Nikali ventured back in that year into this area? Or has she mostly stayed away?
up to you. What do you think?
Honestly, I think she may have gone a few times more to look for materials and things of interest for her use than anything having to do with the actual city itself or the people.
I could totally have seen Shadow Fox actually using her as a contact to pawn off some of the magic crap that he's come across and just.
Oh, Shadow Fox! Yes,
Yeah.
I know him.
Yeah. Do you want to say that that your character knows Shadow Fox? Then?
do.
Is your
Yeah,
contact? Okay.
love it.
All right. That's funny. Write that down, Randy.
Yeah, gotcha.
In case we ever have a.
Helpful one.
Eventually, we're going to get back to the age of Tezcatli, and we're going to have the final showdown, and whether or not Okatla in the current campaign just lied to you, and actually you murdered her ass.
She actually failed miserably.
Which he's not going to admit to outsiders anyway. So, you're walking back through there. You also Nikali, find it's not that difficult to find. You're going to wind up passing right through that powerful dome that Xianya had made, and that they had attempted to combine all of their sacred items for great effect, as the threat was supposed to be coming from your direction. And of course, you now know that was all a lie. And as you're walking through that, and it occurs to you that one young woman manipulated an entire civilization. That Okatla had all of them fooled, at least for a brief moment. And if you're ever going to cross swords with her, for whatever reason, and you don't necessarily have to, she's moved on. She's establishing something. You doubt she's ever going to seek you out. But if for whatever reason you need to, that's going to be a hell of a throwdown.
I want to get a read on what Atiani seems to be experiencing as he's walking through, and especially when we're near the dome.
He takes in a deep breath, and then as you're walking through, now to un-arcane eyes, if that's a sentence, I guess in D&D it is, there's not really much to see, right? There are just some marks on the ground. There may be some remnants of the stands that they had the items set up in. Mm-hmm. That's really about it. Scavengers, this would have been, prime ground for scavenging. But as you're going through this, this oddly flattened grass, it's otherwise unsheltered, he stops, and this was where the mask was. This was where the mask of Kyoto was. He kneels down and touches the ground. Why did you send me away? Beloved, why did you send me away? I should have been here. I would have gotten to it. The coterie we were the only ones. They were the only ones. And then he told me that he had actually been revived once before with it. They needed to keep up the legend of him as invincible, you understand? And for the most part he was, but he never told me what filled him. Even me, he wouldn't. I don't know what it was. Maybe he fought the Green Doom before. Maybe it was something else. But they used the mask to bring him back. It's gone now, though. Let's keep going. Stands back up and is carefully going through the ruins. You've encountered very little resistance on your way here. Essentially just strolling up. It's been a long, hot, sweaty walk, but it's nothing new to any of these characters.
At some point, you see Nikali, go over to a specific stone and turn it over and collect something that she had clearly, stashed there long ago or something like that.
I like it. What do you want to do as you're traipsing through the ruins?
I'm noting architecture because I'm keenly interested.
Okay.
If I can see religious temples, I'm sure there's plenty of them around in this place, but if I can start noting what their religion looks like, how it's structured, things of that nature, while I'm walking through. I've always had a keen interest in religion, so...
Yeah, you have. Make an investigation roll.
I'm going to be using my clear eyes.
Okay.
Please, Goddess, give me the clear eyes to see what I need to see. That'll give me expertise on investigation rolls.
Indeed. So there's a bit of a whiff of divine force, and Nikali, you hear and see this is the presence of a queer goddess that is not really represented in your time, because a benediction like that would have been Taluk normally.
With that, I got a 23.
Wow. Okay.
He be seeing with them clear eyes.
You're looking around and you note the various. With the 23, you note pretty much all of the various structures, but you're looking at the pyramids that were for the Dread Mother, the pyramids that were for the Lord of the Dawn Star, and then finally the pyramids that were for the god of rain and life.
The more that she notes that he is interested in religion, she might once in a while, deem him worthy to throw in a detail. This specific symbol. Oh. This one is Tezcatli, and filling in little bits here and there.
Are the pyramids the same size?
No.
No,
it's different. And of course, there's the Grand Pyramid that functions as the heart of the city, which has long since been
squashed,
hammered. Yeah,
that's incredible. I've been wanting to ask Waisa so long about her religion and the origins of it.
Waisa?
One of me fellowship. She's the one that I told you gave herself to as kindling.
Kindling.
As she said it, that was her word for it.
Kindling.
She used her own spirit to ignite Taluk's avatar. I believe that's what she said she was. I felt it. I felt it leave. But it was her own choice, and she did it with open eyes.
Time is strange.
That was the first time I met Okala. So, briefly, for about 45 seconds, maybe a minute, a flicker.
Pleasant, isn't she?
She was rather uncouth. I'll have more descriptive words for it, but that will do, right? I ain't like a nun. We started fighting, and I realized it was the wrong time for it, but we started getting into it.
She tends to have that effect on people.
Yeah.
You can see now, excuse me, as you're passing, that the Green Doom must have sat on the city many more times than necessary to make his point, because you're seeing this, stupidly large thing of, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of tons worth of draconic fun just landing and flattening, literally flattening parts of the city as it just lands again and again and again. You can't imagine what it would take to fight something like that. And it would obliterate Juramentum.
Doesn't
without, yeah.
All right, that's crazy.
So,
Yes.
And yet, there is, for some reason, Marcus, you feel like there is some distant reality as these things echo through. Perhaps it's because you're bearing a shard of crystal remembrance, where you will indeed, as the culmination of the Fellowship's career, you will indeed have to face down the Green Doom, potentially. Now you're getting to see his handiwork, though, up close and personal, in a way that initially didn't really pay attention to that aspect of it, because there were so many things going on. Now there's nothing to see except the desolation.
Can't even imagine this.
So, as you walk through the shattered husk of a civilization, or at least that version of it, because truly what Akala is making is very much in her image now, although it has the trappings of the old. You get to the central pyramid, the big kahuna, the place where almost all of the noble lines got snuffed. And immediately you can see what the boy was talking about, because it's been even the very beginning entryway has just been shattered. So you're gonna have to dig through. You're looking at it, and you're already sizing up what kind of mana, what kind of rivers and eddies you'll have to twist and turn to throw different parts of this out of the way.
You see her take a deep breath, and as she draws her shoulders up, she looks more draconic than she has at any other point. You almost just see, like, through her to this dragon spirit for a moment, and then her shoulders drop. She looks more humanoid again, but her mana is almost starting to emanate around her.
Does that actually have a physical effect in the air around you?
You can't tell if it's physical or if it's just a sense you're having, and it's very strange, but you know something is there.
Right now, your mana is flowing, and it's doing 3 different things, Caitlin, as you're pulling it up, because you're a high enough level that this would start to happen. One of them is you're starting to have a crest over your head, like the dragon would. Another.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Another is that there is a ripple of mana, and all of these are like closed circuits, so it's just a flow of a tail, and then of course, between your shoulder blades, their wings. So if someone was looking at the mana right now, they would be seeing all of this going on.
And on that note, please allow me to see the flows of mana, or the flows of mana. And I'm going to ask the ring to allow this, to give me this vision, instead of drawing on my own prepared evocations, to see if the ring will allow me to do that.
Tawea will allow you to do that,
She will do that.
but not the ring.
Then I will do that. Please, Tawea, give me the ability to see the flows of mana as they are happening right now.
There's a little ripple runs up your back, and you can see overlaid over the top of her head this beautiful emerald crest, and then the wings spreading out, the tail, and coming from the hands, not hands but talons that are much more much more for the liking of this kind of sorceress work.
And you see her, like, just barely smirk, like, yeah, I fucking know I'm badass. Anyway.
That's impressive.
Are you going to try to shift the masonry, or do you want to try to drive your mana like a wedge at some of the cracks that are already there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
See if I can use the already existing weaknesses in the structure here.
You're watching this wedge. Sweat starts to come down your face because, unlike your full draconic brethren, you can sweat. And you start to splinter up. How much of a passage are you trying to make? Like
just enough that we're gonna fit through.
Okay,
I mean,
like turn sideways and fit through. Okay.
Even if we have to crawl, I'm not trying to go too far because it doesn't look stable. I know if I go too big, I'm gonna do something just wrong and everything's gonna collapse on us. So
Okay.
just enough that it looks like all of us. I mean, he's a bigger guy, you know, he's muscly compared to the two of us, but
Pretty large.
we'll make it work.
Okay. Make your first Arcana roll as you're trying to manipulate these flows of mana to do exactly what you want.
21.
Wow. Okay. Like well-trained soldiers of a mystic nation, it just ripples up and. Wow. And then, as various parts of it start to fall, and you don't want it yet, you brace them until you can actually get some masonry to brace it as you want, and it looks, at least for the nonce, pretty stable. At least to
Keep
get
your
it.
wits about you, boys. Anything could fall at any moment. You should move quickly.
Yeah, she speaks true. I'll take point. I know where he's at. I can feel him. He turns sideways,
Do
and
you need me to cast light or to ask for light?
that would be good. Yes, I have a torch, but not yours will be better. Totally certain.
Actually, I don't have a holy symbol, just my ring.
Yeah.
Right. Please give this ring light, Toya.
Flares up. You can produce little like sickly green will-o'-the-wisps if you want.
If his light is sufficient,
Okay.
I will focus on other things.
Okay.
If it seems to get too dim, I'm willing to help.
Okay.
So
So
with
far, so good.
10 minutes worth of seeing the flows of mana as we walk into this place, does anything stick out at us?
In the initial antechambers, no.
Okay, along the doors as we're passing through, like residual effects that are still there?
And it did take her a bit to do that, but
Oh, I see. Yeah.
yeah. It's a good question, Randy. Like, what would have been there a year later? So, in terms of active magic, you're not really seeing much of anything, but beyond quote unquote, the mechanics, in a place that has just been venerated this long, had this much intention poured into it, had this many rituals enacted, what you're seeing isn't so much conventional well-working or mana bending, so either wizardry or sorcery, but you are seeing one of the true strengths of the Uralit people of this era, that there was a collective, a powerful, potent, and you can actually see like ripples of it in the air still, even now, even with everything that's happened, echoes of it, fumes of it, if you will, of this powerful collective intent as a culture. This was, you can kind of feel it a little bit as it dances up your spine. This was the age of Coatl. This was a bright, hopeful, beautiful era that is gone now. Well and truly gone.
Just wisps of it now, just memories of it, or echoes.
Memories, yeah.
She'll look at Marcus and tell him a husk of what it once was. And she kicks her foot, tries to kick up a little dust and see if she can't create a little illusion to show it more in its splendor just for a split second.
Oof. I like that. And you see the people. Where are you picturing in the city? Is it in the pyramid itself, or or is it more like a slice of life?
No, where we're standing.
Right where
now.
you're standing. Okay. Ooh. So it kicks up, and You see noble women in their finery. Of course, they would scream and recoil at you, but noble women in their finery coming down to join priestesses in this particular chamber, to join priestesses for the feminine rituals and the veneration of Tezcatli, of the Dread Mother, and you know that there would be a counterpart in the correct days, in the balanced days. Ideally, there would be a counterpart coital going on of the Lord of the Dawn Star on the other side, and then with Taluk as the balance point.
Can I make a note of the religious regalia that the priestesses are wearing? Kind of just remember it for future.
You only get a flash, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite fascinating. Thank you.
And then it's gone, and you're not even sure that you ever saw it.
Maybe. Thank you.
I'm feeling like your character. Obviously, she's potent in like the draconic theme magic, but I'm feeling like there's a strong undercurrent of illusion and thoughts, like ideas, also in there. Yeah, like with the telepathy earlier, that kind of thing.
Yeah. She likes to get inside your head.
I like that too. Yeah.
It's probably honestly, it's that level of psychological warfare and subtlety is probably why you're the last woman standing on your side, and why the Kawat want to at least get a truce with you and stop, having their resources get corrupted from their perspective.
And she probably sees herself now as a keeper of the history too, which is why she is like using all of that for more storytelling and kind of passing along memories of her people.
Are you collecting any of the pounded woven bark that they use as scrolls through here as you're moving through, or are you just leaving what you find?
In here, not unless something is really sticking out to me, catching my eye looks very important. But in some ways, this place, she still feels like scorned by it. It's not the most important to her. The gods she cares about, but the people who occupied this place,
not so much.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You're Randy, you're actually catching bits and pieces of High Valkyrie on this pounded bark.
Weird.
And it's, even though yes, it's magic, it's still kind of weird to have your brain rewiring that way, where the written word is jumping out at you, and your first words are not in Daro. They're in this truly alien language.
I'm going to take a moment to pick something up. It doesn't matter what.
Okay.
Just to read it. Because this will be the first time, aside from the ring, that I've ever read anything on my own, to read it.
This one seems to be a particularly dry specimen of how many bushels of wheat and how many eggs were collected in this fortnight.
And now you know why I'm not bothering to pick up every little thing I see.
Yeah, you know me as a GM. You know me as a GM pretty well.
Pick up others as I go along.
Okay.
This is a novel experience for me, so I'm really diving into it as much as he can.
And
without slowing us down too much.
Atiani turns around and very gently he puts his little hand over yours. And he says, "We can't take them all, Marcus."
No, but we can take at least one. Just two. That one right there. It's looking at us.
Okay, that's your last one.
Okay, thank you.
I'm cutting you off now.
Can I roll to see if there are any that stand out to me that look very different or important or of interest?
Yeah, make an investigation roll.
Oh no.
Okay. I thought that was I was like, ooh, it's one.
Not even close.
No, you're moving along. There's that was just some dust, some shadow. Although, as Atiani leads you deeper down, you, Nikali, all of you are unwittingly going down the very same hallway that Nalishli and Okatla had their hilarious back and forth with each other. It's still one of the highlights of the whole Age of Tezcatli run. I laugh every time I watch that scene. As he's starting, you start to feel a different kind of tug off to your left into an area that looks like it's been particularly ravaged. An area, in fact, that was deep enough that had this just flattening not occurred, you probably never would have known existed.
She'll stop and turn that direction.
Okay. You're going to have to go down. You're going to have to like climb down some shattered, not quite a pit, but like the side of, where there was like a deep chamber that got collapsed in. You're going to have to climb down. You're probably equal to it, but it's going to be a whole thing.
She's going to go.
Okay.
She's not going to say anything to anybody. She is headed off that direction.
So I'm picturing you in the middle as Atiana is taking point. Atiana is taking point. Okay.
She's close enough to point out things if she wants, but yeah.
So you hear Nikali peel off to the left and then start a little climb down. You don't know if Atiani noticed though.
Atiani. She's moving off that way.
Huh?
She's moving off that way.
Nikali, what are you doing as you're climbing down?
Follow or don't.
Okay, let's go.
But
we'll get there. We're all here.
Okay, all right. Give me an athletics check, everybody.
14 on the die. 18.
Okay, you get stuck at one point, and you're not sure. You're contemplating just dropping the rest. You're chosen. You can take a huge beating, but you're contemplating going down the rest of the way. And then Marcus, if you're willing to trust his hand, then Marcus will give you another point of leverage that you can swing past the point you're stuck at.
She's not too proud to reach for a little help.
Okay, yeah. So you help her swing past, and you're clambering on down. It's just like climbing up for Harpesia egg back in the day. And then
when you're older.
Okay. Atiana doesn't seem to have any trouble skittering down. And here you see, so you go in, and whatever this room used to be or was supposed to be, it's been blasted by something, but you still see all of these different runes and inscriptions and even drawings that are around. And then as you're looking, you're like, yep, that was some serious motherfuckery. Because there looks like there was a tunnel that was disintegrated from that point all the way up.
You do see her now use her own light to try and illuminate the room more, and she's going to do a thorough walk around here.
Okay.
Can I go to a wall and do I make this? Please add light to this wall right here.
It winks out on your ring, and then the wall lights. So there's an interesting golden with sickly green interplay of lights.
Color of like vomit or something like that.
and not like the beautiful balls, or kind of like a glowing cloud, like a small glowing clouds that are kind of drifting around. Yeah.
Looks almost putrid.
Yeah.
Good times with each other, Sam.
And as you're sitting there, no roll needed because of what you are and how close you are to the source, Nikali. You'd heard the rumors, but now you know. The fools had stolen someone had stolen Aquettle's egg. And that's what they had down here.
So they brought it upon themselves. I might have known.
How do you mean?
An egg was taken. Had you not heard such rumors before?
Just rumors, but nobody's that stupid.
They were. They are.
And it was... They held it inside the city?
Here.
Here, in this chamber?
This was its hiding place.
Probably what they consider the most protected in the entire city.
I mean, it should have been impossible,
Yeah.
to get down here, but good luck.
I mean, the one dragon we met was strong, but if this thing was big enough to just punch through this place, or blow through it, or whatever the heck it did.
Have you ever seen one?
Yes. I have.
Then you can imagine.
I can imagine, but I mean, the scope of this. The sheer scope of it is mind-boggling right now.
Maybe they were all wrong. Maybe they were completely wrong. Maybe the Green Doom is just that. Maybe there was no way of winning this. And then he kneels down and he looks up at the disintegrated angle and how far it is. But this was a fight that never should have happened. Did Okatla do this?
Of course. Your kin, always so full of hubris.
And the one thing I heard her say is that she accomplished every goal she'd ever tried for. So...
She couldn't have been that stupid. She must have known what was going to happen.
Right. Treacherous might be a better word than stupid.
I agree. He's learned her nature in his moment of speaking with her.
Yeah. I had known enough of her, but I didn't like her. She made my skin crawl.
You're telling me that she deliberately destroyed her own people?
I don't know anything that what she said or what she did, but what she said is that she accomplished every goal she had set to. So if that was one of her goals, then yes.
You have each piece. Place them together, and the story will be remade before your eyes.
Can we go now?
Is there any bark in here?
Bark?
I like little...
Your dog.
Oh,
Yes, yes. Like the
Like a small
pressed
dog?
wood bark that we
left
just...
the stereo down there. I shouldn't be barking.
My dogs are barking because I'm walking so far.
No,
I will use my
that,
clear
that,
eyes.
that got obliterated.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a piece of the egg down here that Donnie's character ganked, but that's long gone. So.
I remember that.
Yep. You look around, and Nikali, I'm going to say after your thorough pass through, if you want to take it, you see one of these foolish priests, one of their oxcon, which is like an enchanted necklace that was shattered during it, but you can still see like the outline of it, and then there's shards where they thought their magic was going to protect them, and obviously didn't.
Just a little
Okay. Doop, doop, doop.
Do I recognize that necklace as something that that Wace always had on? Or that kind of design?
You recognize the remnants of a necklace.
Yeah. Wace had one of those too. Those necklaces.
Interesting.
I got it from a bunch of ghosts, of all things.
I want to try to peer inside Marcus's mind and see if I can see Wace's image.
Ooh.
I'm going to resist that.
How do you conceptualize that, Caitlin?
I guess this is like her version of detecting thoughts. So you'll
Sure.
see her hand come out and you'll see the mana around it like really looking like talons, and the talons suddenly are growing and reaching towards your head. She's not being subtle at all. She is making it very clear, I want to look in your mind.
There's no
real
subtle
quick.
spell here.
She has no reason to hide what she's trying to do. She wants to see Wesa.
Blessed Toya, strengthen my mind against intrusion. Please give me the resistance to do so.
All right.
Using my cantrip of resistance.
So you feel a slight divine presence in this room of this very active, nosy goddess who seems to be pushing pieces on the board around. Go ahead and make a wisdom save.
Okay. 7 on the die, plus another 7, so 14. And then 3 on the, so 17.
Okay, I think you just made it.
And the way I'm envisioning it is she makes it into the mind, but light billows out of it. So everything that she might be able to see
It's just light.
is just blinded by light.
You're not quite blinded, but essentially you're catching, like, you can see little muddled, I was going to say muted, but they're anything but, like, totally oversaturated little glimpses, but that's, you don't really see much more.
You see the mana start to retract back to my hand, and she says, "Forgive me. Perhaps I have been a recluse too long and have forgotten my manners.
Perhaps so.
I simply wish to see this Wesa you speak of."
Then ask me next time, and perhaps we might be able to come to an accord.
I have shown you much.
You have. But just ask me. That's all.
And your ears pick up footsteps, and it's so echoey down here that somebody'd have to be very good, and they seem to be cautious, but not like masterfully prowling or something. You hear a couple pair. Shh.
My light
Yeah.
disappears.
mine.
Okay. Can you kill it ahead of schedule? The
Yeah, I
cantrip?
can just dispel it as I'll read it.
Okay.
He said bye-bye. And go bye-bye.
Because I know it's for an hour, but I guess.
Oh yeah, the spell ends if you cast it again or dismiss it as an action.
Okay, because I was trying to think of like what would you have to. Yeah. Okay, so it's an action. All right. So yeah, it goes away. Yours you just drop concentration and it's gone. You don't.
Actually, mine probably left when I was trying to
Get his
look
brain
inside of his
okay.
mind.
Okay, fair enough. You don't think they spotted you, and it sounds like, come on, yeah, it must have shifted. We got really damn lucky. Okay, I'm coming, but this place just creeps me the fuck out. And there's some torches. There's like dim torchlight as you're going, and you hear steps of people.
How many people?
2 or 3. And you hear them rifling through various battered or beaten bark and snuffling around shattered pottery and digging through various shelves.
You're good with illusions. Think you can scare away our little uninvited guests? The ghosts of this place haunt this.
Fair enough.
Maybe make it a alopecia. Oh, those are terrifying.
Maybe some version of like minor illusion or something to
Sure.
I'll have like, can I make a pot like near them just bust or something like that?
You'd have to come out from
Be
the
able to
chamber a little bit.
see and everything.
Yeah. I mean, potentially, yes.
I don't want them to see me when it happens. If I'm able to do it sneakily enough.
Okay, so you prowl. So you prowl over there. Give me a stealth check. We'll say she has proficiency in this too.
Okay. Oh, that's only a 4 on the die, so.
Okay. Huh? Somebody's down there. What are you talking about? There's nobody down. I'm telling you, this is a bad idea. Somebody's. Hey. Third voice. Get your ass up here, or you're in real trouble. You see a shelf full of pots now. If you wanted to explode those. Okay. Are you going to be? I assume you're not going to be phrased differently. I assume you're not going to be careful about who gets hit by the exploding shards.
No.
No. Okay.
Blow them up.
All right. Okay. Give me them dex saves over here. Okay. So one of them made it. The other two didn't, and they get. Fuck. One of them just takes off running. Another one is like, ow, where are you going? And then the third one, what the fuck? Okay, I warned your asses. And you see a pretty large figure come down, look down. He's got the outlaw, the spear caster. He has one of the spears loaded in the other hand, and he's looking down, kind of crouched over the edge. I assume you've pulled.
I'm hiding.
Yeah, pulled back.
Best I can.
Yeah, pulled back by now, and sticks where you were at.
So what would you like to do? One's gone. We have 2 left down there, and then a third up there.
No, just one up there, and then one injured up there as well. Nobody's down where you're at. They can't see you because you've retreated back into the chamber. They're kind of looking down at an angle.
I can probably hold them, at least one of them, assuming you don't kill it. Yeah.
I heard one of them already. Well, we can't stay down here. Better to take them out before they knew we were here at all. Are you a warrior?
No. And I'm rolling out to bind this man and hold his soul in place.
Okay. You're gonna have to expose yourself a little bit
Just for a moment.
to do that. Okay. You peek over.
My shield's over, just in case.
Peek.
What's your DC, Randy?
A 14. 14.
That's what I thought. Okay. And you don't need the shield. He misses. He misses in the dark. And there's a golden light around him. And as he goes to load, to reload, you see him quivering, held fast.
Well done.
We don't have time to really stay here long, so maybe convince the other one to get out of here.
I'm going to start climbing up.
Yeah, and disarm him.
And he says, look, I have Ascitiodal with me. You just leave. Just leave now. That's chosen in this era. Which actually translates to demigod.
Yeah.
So it says, I have Ascitiodal with me. Just leave now, please. All right, just let me get my friend. And you see somebody put, you can't see the whole man because of the angle, but you see him put arms around the waist and then starts dragging him away from the side. All right, you make your way back up, and it's actually easier to climb up than it was. It's safer to climb up than it was to climb down, oddly enough. But
Excellent.
you get up, and having plumbed the Chamber of Secrets, and now you're back on your way. Yep, they're gone. And like I'd said, you now finish passing where Nilishli and Okatlat had their confrontation deeper still, and you get to a spot and there's another collapse. And he says, "Past there. He's through there. I know it."
We'll see if we can be lucky again, and I'll try to make a passage.
So this time, like, imagine it kind of like this wall support wall here, and you have like this huge chunk of masonry that's collapsed. So that this time there's not really a convenient way through.
I'm not sure I would be able to keep this stable.
Is there any way up, like through windows that might be higher that we can come down in?
No windows, but you might be able to climb over that piece of masonry. But you'd risk getting wedged in the roof, like against the roof, or against what's left of the roof, I should say.
How good are you at climbing, son?
Pretty good.
You're the smallest of us here, yeah?
Yes, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to need you, Nikali, when we get to him.
All right, then we take a moment to look around for another way in. Is there another way in? You know this place better than we do. I mean, maybe not. Maybe
I'm
not.
gonna spend some time really investigating the wall, looking at if there's any piece that I can move, almost like a game of Jenga or something.
Jenga,
I can
right.
slide this piece out just so. Will it all tumble?
And I, in my turn, am going to use my clear mind
Okay.
to walk along the wall to see if there's any kind of depressions that might actually act as a hidden passage into this place, in case the main chamber got
collapsed,
yeah,
right.
They'll have another way out of this chamber.
You're pretty deep in, like in terms of the main veins and the tributaries, but go ahead and roll investigation. And you're looking through there. Yeah, I guess investigation as well.
I got a 4 on the die,
Okay.
even with all the other stuff.
Both of you are struggling.
I mean, it's still an 11. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible.
You think this time you may just have to gradually try to grind through and slice off, like wedge mana in different pieces of this rock and and wedge it off, but it's dangerous.
I can try bit by bit, but perhaps you can be eyes for me. Look to the rest of the wall, see if things are shifting dangerously.
Nikali, if this staff is, I think it's unbreakable. If that helps at all, at least it can bear any weight that you need, and I can use it as a piece of leverage. Let's see what we can do.
Did that come up on the detect magic when I was looking around? Because he was close enough to us.
That's a good point. That would not look like a normal empowered item, but it would have had like a weird wisp around it.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Stand directly next to me and be prepared to use it.
Okay. So you start to, almost like a Thanksgiving roast or something. You just start digging it. Yep.
Can I take pieces out?
Okay.
To assist. So that it doesn't start clattering down to the ground.
Right. Yes.
Create support, she says, so that he can maybe be building up almost
on the
along
sides,
the edges to solidify
I'm
a
a
tunnel
farmer.
for us.
We understand this type of work.
Okay. You get to it and go ahead with advantage, Caitlin. Go ahead and make another Arcana check. DC is a lot higher.
Okay, cool. That's a 22.
All right. Good.
Yay, advantage.
I don't want Atiana or Nikali to get smushed, so. Well, actually, you can get smushed too, and then you'd find out what happens when you die here.
Yeah, right, let's go.
No.
Okay, right. As you go home and your max hit points are permanently reduced. Woo! Okay, so.
No.
You're carving it out. It's taking a while, you're taking your time, but, so be it. In your character's mind, if you need to camp here, then you'll camp here and you'll just,
She might even be taking what they would see as an obnoxiously, long time. She goes really slow, and at one point she stops and sits down and drinks, from a little skin, and then gets back up. And
really examining the different, the different pieces of it. All right. And you finally manage to burrow basically a crawl space through, and you see the other side of it. Just when you're like, oh, I don't know if we're going to be able to make this stable, you do see the other side of this piece of the wall that it collapsed in.
And to be clear, you want us to drag your friend out of there. Is that what you were looking for us to do?
I don't think so.
Okay, great. Let's go. Ooh, because that was going to be rough.
He gets on hands and knees, and he pushes the staff ahead of him. You get through, Nikali, pretty simply. And then Marcus,
I take off my breastplate.
You're trying to wedge your broad shoulders.
I take off my breastplate.
Okay.
I know I'm gonna need a bit of help putting this back on. Can I take it off myself?
Yeah, it takes time, but
We need some help putting this back on, but it comes on through the whole thing.
Okay, and then you're going to start shoving that in front of you.
Know how to do that.
Yeah, I'll show you. I was wearing my cod piece as a shoulder guard the first time I put it on too. My wife was so pleased to show me.
Randy, you're the only character who's going to have to make an athletics or acrobatics roll as you're shimmying
Even smaller
through this.
You got this.
I took off the bulky armor.
Well, you weren't going to get through.
Gross.
Still bigger than us.
Oh, good. I got an 18 on the die.
Okay, good. As you get stuck inside. Okay.
Then I pull back and just use one arm instead to make my arms narrower.
And you just think about cats are rare, but there are still cats. So you think about cats where they're trying to shove into something, and as long as they can get their head through, then they'll find some way to contort around.
Cats
to get
are
the rest of
liquid.
them.
Gross.
It is known.
And you finally get to this chamber, and in this chamber, it's surprisingly, or maybe not, but it is barren isn't the right word. Simple. And there's like a low slab, and then there's just a woven mat on it. And you hear as the source of light gets in there, because that would be you.
Yeah, now once they're gone, I'll put the light back up.
You have no fear of the dark, so you're fine to wait in it, unless you wanted to conjure. I don't know. Did you conjure some of your own when you got in here? No, you're just content in the stillness. Okay. It actually, to you, Nikali, it actually smells pretty good in here. It's musty. It's deep, damp, and deep in the earth.
Smells like my cottage a little.
Actually, yeah.
It's nice.
Gross.
You come through, and as you invoke your goddess's will once more, you hear him say, "Akatsun!" And he runs the small length, and he throws himself on the golden skin champion.
Be careful.
He wasn't going to stop. He wasn't going to stop.
You hear him just quietly sobbing over there, raw emotion after being parted with him for a year.
I'm content to give him his time and just walk around the chamber, just taking a look at pretty much everything. I know it's austere and nothing's in there, but...
Yeah, that was the word I was looking for earlier already.
He pulled it out for you.
We got it. We got there eventually. That is called that, ladies and gentlemen, is called the help action. All right. So...
Oh, I'm sorry, new ones.
Yeah. And you see him kind of numbly pawing at his face as he's trying to shut the eyes, and each time the eyes come back open.
But they don't see, they don't move?
No, he's not breathing. He's, if you get close to him at all, he's literally stone cold.
I walk over until I'm standing right next to Atiani.
He was the most alive person I've ever known. He had the wisdom of an elder. 80 winters of life. And now he's the thing. But he's in there somewhere. His matrix still exists. I know it. I wouldn't be able to feel him otherwise.
You believe you? Well, I believe you.
But with no mask, I know my pathetic little amount of life force can't. Everything I told you was true. I guess I am Uralit. I did need you to get in.
You're in.
And now just one more thing. Whatever is being birthed in your place and time, Marcus of
Juramentum, whichever.
It's waiting. And your Moisa is her name? She made an anchor point there.
Mm-hmm.
But there needs to be an anchor point here. And I know it's not going to be him, and I know it's not going to be the Age of Coatl ever again. At least not anytime soon. But they are brothers and sisters to each other. They are. Even if they don't recognize that sometimes. The last time that he made love to me, that we were together, was at the springs. The hot springs. The ones you showed me. About 6 days east of here. They are kind of magic. And he put something inside of... He...
Anatomy lessons aside.
Yeah, his cheeks kind of... He imbued me with something, and I know what it is now, which makes me wonder if he knew he was going to die, but I don't know, it's all confusing. Gods have their own time and all that rot. It's the Matrix, but it's not his Matrix. It's her Matrix. It's the The last divine construct. Tuluk's divine construct. Congratulations, it's a girl.
How do you know? Is it always a girl?
He's not.
Well, I mean, in a progression of things.
I don't know.
Because if he was a man and it was supposed to be Tuluk's turn.
I don't know.
Gotcha. Congratulations, it's a girl. And you have a matrix.
I've been deluding myself for the past year because I was hoping it was his and that I could find the mask. But I was never going to find that thing, was I? You have the deep pain, Nikali. You can reach into a person's bones. I've seen you do it before.
Can and will are different.
Don't you want this divine construct to be born when it should be? Of a god of rain and life and reason?
If I ever say, my friend gave her life for this, and I don't want you to die to do so, but I don't want my friend's death to be meaningless either. And if this is what this divine construct needs to be in the world, what do you need us to do? Take it out of you and kill you?
I think I can just... He drops down to both knees, and in the Uralit way of things, you can tell you can read almost everything about a person by their pulse. And there are, I think it was seven different layers to the pulse. And so he puts his hand where he would be reading the pulse of the other, and his lifelong protector and beloved would have it on the other side. And just stays there for a moment.
Nikali takes one hand and places it on Okatsun's chest. She waits a minute to see if she sees or feels anything.
You do, but what you feel is a vast vessel that is devoid of quintessence. And yet the very fact that you can still feel the integrity of the shell on an energetic level means that the boy is probably right. Or at least something is happening there.
She turns her gaze to Atiani, and he sees that her pupils are so big that her eyes are almost all black. And she then takes both of her hands and puts them on his shoulders. She's having to look down on him as he's on his knees.
Very deep, yes.
She says...
And you're starting to feel past the skin. You feel his heartbeat. You feel to his bone. You have to go deeper. So, through muscle. It's layer after layer through layer through layer that you're feeling into him.
I've seen enough useless death. Brave heart, Atiani.
He looks up at you. Nods. Give her what she needs. I will be the spark, but you will be the canvas, Nikali. She will know part of what you do. Send her something good.
She just centers herself as much as possible and just dives in deep.
As there's a magnificent wave of green that goes into the boy and forces out this gold that goes back into this colossus of a vessel, but doesn't stay there. You don't know this. Although you feel the presence come, move, leave. You feel it go, and it goes to a place that only the gods know. using a Kotzin's corpse, using a Kotzin's, I shouldn't say corpse, body as a vessel, as a conduit. And you see Atiani slump forward, and in his last moment of life, you hear him whisper, "Thank you." The gratitude, and his corpse is on top of Akadzin's.
What just happened? Please explain this to me a bit.
He accomplished his goal. He ushers in a new age.
What did you send her?
I didn't send. I was myself a conduit or a vessel. Or perhaps I was a force. But I had no control over what just happened. Simply allowed it to be.
He called you the canvas. I hope she knows she's loved.
I think she will.
I hope I met her sometime. Any way you can send that along, even after all this?
I shall spend a few years trying.
How do you leave? How do you leave Atiani? Like he's lying.
How much of the slab is there?
You'd have to put one. You'd have to put him on top of.
Okay.
Almost like they're sleeping.
Basically, like hand on chest, arm around, kind of feel like that. I don't know what else to do for him.
He
But he
seems
loved
happy.
him. Yeah, he does. Like to sleep in here. Good luck to you, Altiani, no matter where you go or what you do. Well, I know where you're going to go. I will see you again.
Yeah, actually, you will. That's trippy.
As I pull out the piece of the crystal remembrance, this is from my version of him, right here.
It's smaller and yet more lively. Not as heavy.
The gods are strange, but wise.
You start to see Marcus fading.
Is there any rocks in here at all?
Sure.
Okay, great. I'm going to grab a rock.
Okay.
And I want to try something that I've never tried before.
Almost like one of your constructs or something as he begins to just evaporate.
I want to use Sacred Flame on this rock. And I want to put my goddess's symbol into it. Like burn it in.
Does radiant damage, will that work? How do I want to run that? Okay.
I'm just, please, make your presence known here, your symbol.
So this is it's still contained, like against his hand, the shadows of it and the play of the light. You see, though, a more intense concentration of this power.
I'm gonna hand it off to you.
And there's a scale. It's a alien symbol to you, but it's a scale.
Someday, that's gonna come back out into the world, and I think you should be one of the first to know. That is the symbol of the goddess Tuea, and my goddess. Keep it for now. It might become important.
Tuea.
Tuea, the goddess of justice and truth. Do you have anything you want me to tell your kin before I go?
Yeah, I mean, you're probably got a couple combat rounds left on you. Yeah.
That's so weird.
Persevere.
Persevere. It was good meeting you. I hope I do so again.
I don't.
Yeah, she does.
And Nikali, you're going to get the last word, the last action as you're down in this tomb. that's almost impossible to get to for anybody else. Forgotten. With the champion of the last age. Something, a turn of the wheel that you had a hand in making. An emissary who's going to be there soon. What do you do? What do you think? What do you say?
She sits down in front of where the two men are laying. She starts to sketch into the dirt around her. She's drawing their love, their story. You see their meeting, you see the springs.
All of what you know.
She is finishing her drawing and running her hands so the dust is kicking around her and it's playing out like a movie before her eyes. And she says, You were brave of heart, Atiani. I'm glad I knew you. Lisa. And then she gets up and starts to crawl back through her little hole.
Oh, that's good, Caitlin. All right, faraway friends. That is the anchor point over in the age of Tezcatli, and that is the character that our own, when the time comes, still a while down the narrative road, but when the time comes, our own wonderful Caitlin will be bringing to full glorious life. I am absolutely certain, and we'll meet the last of the constructs to join the field. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. We had, I now know we had a record-breaking night in terms of viewers who were with us, so that's amazing.
Thank you so much for all that, guys.
It means a lot.
Appreciate you.
We've been doing the thing for a while, and it's been, there are peaks and valleys like in everything. So this is definitely a peak. Thank you very much. As you go on about your journey out there, stay safe, stay curious. Take care. Fale.
Vale.
Bye.
Adios.
Thank you for being.